Welcome, Travis. What a fantastic panel to set up this conversation, and we're going to try and segue into the next part of our data debate. Thank you, Joanna. So there was a lot of talk about panel about interoperability, and I want to try and put some meat on the bones of that. So when we talk about interoperability in the context of clean rooms and collaboration, what are we really talking about, and what do we have to do to get it?
Yes, to me, so interoperability is that a clean room can actually work. It has to work with the ad tech ecosystem, the media ecosystem out there. If we put all of our data in a bunker and you can't use the data, what's the point of putting it in the bunker? And so I think when we talk about interoperability, we have to recognize that the folks who own the data in this room are the marketers and the publishers. The rest of us, we're just middleware. We are the ad tech, we are the MarTech middleware that connects the marketers and the publishers. So interoperability means that anything you put in a clean room can be matched on an ID of your choosing. You can pull your data out. You have control of it. You have privacy around it, and it's your data. So let's say you want to switch clean rooms. It's easy to do so. If you want to use your data over walled garden, it's easy to do so. You want to measure, you control the models and the algorithms. So that's what's interoperability. It's really about putting the control back in the hands of those who have the consumer relationships, which is the pubs and the marketers.
And just to be clear, because we had an agency rep on the panel talking about the fact that it's hard to scale out a team to have relationships with multiple clean room providers because they can't hire enough data scientists, and the clients, you can probably ask them to pay more, but they probably won't. I think that's a different view on interoperability, isn't it?
It is. Well, I think I can definitely sympathize with the agencies. Like, you don't want to have a staff that knows how to work 20 clean rooms. That's going to be really expensive. So it's also about making it where the clean rooms have similar standards. So I know the IB is taking a pass at this of what are the clean room standards, how do they operate together. I think we've got to make it easy. We have to recognize that just like there's not going to be one ID that works them all, there's not going to be one clean room that works them all. So make it easy to connect it and make it easy for people to be able to jump from one to the other and use them. Because I think the reality is most brands and publishers are going to have to work with multiple clean rooms, maybe not 20, but definitely a few, and how to make them have similar standards.
So talk us through the relationship between addressability and data collaboration, because I know that's something that we've spoken about before and is a key part of this discussion.
Yes, well, I love addressability, so I'm definitely happy to chat about that. I think, when we look at data collaboration, it's how do marketers bring things together, their data assets. For example, a retailer working with CPG. So let's imagine a retailer has all of their store transactions. They enable a CPG to come in. They enable them to look at the audiences, to build a custom audience. So maybe P&G is able to build an audience of people who use Tide Pods and they want to upsell to the new 4-in-1 Tide Pod. Addressability comes in of then how do you leverage that data across the media ecosystem? So addressability is the infrastructure that data collaboration platforms and clean rooms use to connect their data to the media experiences. And to me, addressability spans every channel and every country. So it's how do you connect data across TV, but also across digital, the social platforms, and then how do you do that under the global privacy standards that happen to be different in each market, and ensure that every media experience is addressable and measurable in some way, and then can be brought back into that clean room or data collaboration platform.
So we have a way to go to get there.
We have a long journey to go, but I think we've made incredible strides. Yeah. Like we talked about addressability, as an industry 3-5 years ago. Today, you can buy unauthenticated identifiers on CTV. I look at the Disney announcement just 2 days ago. You have some of the world's most premium inventory, all with authentications that can be connected to the same data that's being used in the walled gardens and on the open web. So I think as an industry today, if you wanted to buy only addressable media, you could. 3 years ago, you could not.
It's true. I think Dan made the point. When people talked about clean rooms 3 years ago, we thought they were talking about the restroom. Now we know they're talking about something incredibly important for the future of the industry. So what does a state-of-the-art addressable capability look like in a data-enabled TV ecosystem?
So I think it starts all with consumer trust. So when we think addressability, to me, the foundation of addressability is a trusted relationship with the consumer. So you have to have a value exchange. So all of the publishers here have that value exchange. It's premium content. I think TV is one of the easiest parts to do a value exchange for. Like, you have really valuable content out there. Like, a random blog, it's a little bit harder to say, hey, I need your email address. Netflix, it's easy. I'm happy to give Netflix my email address so that they can share with me updates, and that I can also get my billing info from them. So it starts there. There's that value exchange with the consumer. And then it's enabling that data, that first-party identity you have from the consumer, to be connected with others. And you want to do that in a way where people can leverage your identity but not see your identity. So we don't want to put emails in the bitstream. We don't want to put emails in the clean room. You want to instead put IDs there, convert the emails to synonymous IDs that can be connected. And then it's how do you set up the rules? Can your inventory only be bought with identity via a direct deal, or maybe via PG? Or can it be done in a cross-channel campaign? I think you're going to see more and more demand from that for marketers. I think Xandr is really well set up with the Netflix partnership to do that. Imagine Netflix plus MSN plus Bing in one buy. I think that's going to be the future of addressability.
So we also have this interesting disconnect, I guess, between media owners and marketers, because marketers see TV as just one channel amongst many. They're thinking omni-channel. What does that mean for data collaboration in the TV space?
So I think it gets really close. I mean, the activation is important because you want to be able to use your audience across all of the channels. I think where it really becomes important is in the measurement work. So if I am trying to prove that an ad actually cost someone, let's go with the P&G example, did they go and buy more Tide Pods? I can see more people bought Tide Pods, but what ads drove that value? And to do that, you have to understand the consumer journey. And correct, TV is one channel of the consumer journey. It's probably one of the most important ones, but it's one. And so how do you think about measurement that spans TV, that spans the social platforms, but also spans the open web? So I saw 2 CTV ads, then I saw a display ad, then I went and I bought the more expensive Tide Pod. And then I think even marketers are looking at it beyond advertising. We talk about omni-channel media measurement. I think marketers are thinking SMS and email is just as important. How do I bring that together? And so this is where addressability then comes into play, of it can unify all those experiences to a common people-based ID that can be brought into that marketer's clean room or collaboration environment and then connected with that offline data.
So we mentioned that there's helpful work starting at the IAB and other places to start looking at standardization to try and get us to a more interoperable space. If there's one thing we as an industry talk about later today or at the next panel or do this year to really unlock the full potential of this addressable, collaborative data ecosystem, what else do we need to do?
Well, I think we have to begin testing these technologies and leaning into them. So it's really easy to have conversations and panels about it and to talk about the future. But the way we move things forward is we commit to doing it. So every publisher in here could commit to working with one of the ID solutions or a clean room this room. Test it out, see how it works. Every marketer could commit to buying it. And then I think the standards should come, but we shouldn't wait for the standards. I think we've learned this industry moves so fast that standards come after the solutions and they add to the solutions. Versus if you wait to build the solutions for the standards, it's never going to work.
Travis, thank you so much for sharing some thoughts with us.
Thank you.